Hello and welcome to another Storytime Tuesday. How's it going? Today we have a detective noir style game called Night Call. This was voted on by the Discord. Yeah. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm hopeful as well. I've had a few duds lately, I feel like, for Storytime Tuesday, so I think this is hopefully going to be part of the turnaround for that, I hope. But we'll see. Remains to be seen. I really like the style of it, though. I guess that's the big draw for it for me so far, is that it's like actually in the noir style. The black and white, like contrasting lighting, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So hopefully we'll have a good time with it. Doing a quick check of all my platform streams, and it looks like we're good on Twitch. My preview is paused, but that's fine. I don't think it's a bad sign necessarily. So YouTube is good. Okay, it doesn't like the bit rate, but that has nothing to do with my side anyway, so Aircast. And yeah, Glimish looks like it's good too, so hopefully we're doing good. It's a little choppy on my end, but I think we're probably still okay. It's probably just because I have the stream pulled up in like 4 places. So, but if there's anybody out there that can let me know if our quality is good, I would love to know. Not too big of a rush to get started, because I'd like to usually give people some time to get here. And it's the first day for Night Call, so anybody who's here for the beginning gets to see it from the beginning. I don't know what free roaming is. It's interesting that that's even like an option here, to be honest. Kind of interesting. Now, one sec. Let me refresh my preview real quick. Didn't do anything, did it? One sec. Boop. Oh, Super Mario. We're not playing that, but don't worry about that. Don't you worry about a thing. Alright, just had to refresh my Twitch page to make sure that it was still okay. Okay, I just wanted my preview to be live as well. I'm paranoid at this point. Hey, happy Tuesday, Stella. Hey, how's it going? How is the stream looking for you? We smooth or anything? I was just doing a cycle through all the channels or whatever, all the pages to make sure that everything was going fine, and I think it is. A little choppy on one of them for me, but I think it's just because I have so many streams open at this point. Hopefully we're looking good over there on Twitch. If we're good on Twitch, we're probably good. Okay, cool. I'm sure we're good then. Had a really good day yesterday, so I'm hoping after all that headache I went through, we had a really good day. So, and yeah, I think we got the stream looking nice. We got it nice and smooth, 60 frames. So I think we're ready to go. So you guys ready to start this or what? Looks like we got a couple people hanging out. Cool. Refresh that Glimish page. I think mine's just kind of tweaking out a little bit, and I'm hoping that that's not a bad sign. Oh cool, you over here on Glimish Students and ready? Alright, let's do it. Let's kick this thing off. I have stalled long enough. Hope that sound level's okay. I think it should be right where I want it, so you let me know though. Choose the investigation. Oh, okay. So we get to go through multiple like episodes. investigation. All separate investigation. Why should we just start from the beginning, right? The judge? It's a bit quiet. Want to wait until gameplay starts. Okay, is it a bit quiet? All right, because I had recorded it earlier, and I thought the game was actually pretty loud, and I expected you to say the opposite. But yeah, once the gameplay gets going, yeah, definitely let me know. Whatever we got to do. I'm just trying to find what decibel is what we're looking for, so that I can always aim for it. You know what I mean? So that I can do like less guessing in the future. I'm gonna try to just be good about it, and just understand what the number is. You know, quantify it. Alright, so, oh, cool, we get a little description here. The judge. Victims have all something in common, and the motives seem clear. But which suspect could have done it? Balanced case, perfect for the first run. And that's what we're doing. The judge. Choose the difficulty mode. Story, balanced, or hard. Let's read the descriptions here. Money will be easy to get by. The investigation will be easier. Every action will take less time for a chiller experience. Oh, I mean, I'm all about chill. But I do like to have, you know, a little bit of a puzzle, you know, a little bit of a challenge. The way Night Call was designed. Well, that's probably what I'd go with, right? Right, Bells? I usually like to go... I'm a sucker for saying, like, this is how it was intended to be played. It's like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. Money will be tighter, the investigation will be harder to solve, every action will cost more time for a more challenging experience. Okay, since I don't know what I'm doing, let's just go balance for sure. I have been trying to choose hard more often, though, I will say, in more games, because sometimes I feel like I am pretty good at some game types, and so I should just start challenging myself more. Might get more out of the game, in a way. I think the whole thing was in either 720 or 1080, and I'm on a 2K monitor, so it looks pretty like low quality for me, but I hope it looks fine. I wonder if you can see like all the blocks too. Yeah, I think you can on the stream, yeah. Maybe it's even like this video must be even lower than 720. So there's a guy, you get out of a car, walking by an alley. There was like a body in the alley? Night Call. Doctor, ... Okay, I think we're in it now. So I think we're gonna have this constant background sound. So if that's too loud, we can do that. There's an opportunity for voice acting. I have no idea. Honestly, I probably, but I have no idea. We'll see. It could be a good time to practice kind of that stuff or whatever. Especially then now I'm gonna have like Paper Mario and Night Call back to back. Get a lot of experience. Here? Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. You're fine. I'm not sure I understand. So yes. No. Well, I can hear some of this stuff clearly. It was kind of coming in and out. I'm not sure I understand. I just want you to be comfortable. You can always change your mind. The voice is female, husky and worn. You find it deeply comforting. Do you want me to speak in a normal, medium, or loud voice? It's fine like that, as loud as possible. How about it's fine like that? She takes a deep breath. Sir, you have spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as a police call, the killer assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver and, in most circumstances, it would have been fatal. He chose to put you in induced coma. Her voice becomes more distant. Fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passenger? What about the cops? See nothing. How about what about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head, to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. Another female voice joins in, a strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later. Yeah, definitely, Splurgus. And what's up, my dude? How you doing? Night 1. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a different type of game, man. Well, look, I got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. Yeah, hi, Splurgus from Glimmers Nights. Oh, when you get through that. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Been good, lazy pre-summer semester Tuesday. Awesome, dude. Sounds good. Sometimes I wonder what goes on in your head. You always seem so far away. Don't react. That sounds pretty cool, huh? Yeah, work's going good. Yep. Got some good stuff done today. So yeah, smooth and steady over here for sure. But I'm glad to be off work now and hanging out with you guys, that's for sure. But I was watching some Abdul today while I was working, man, and it was such a funny day for Abdul. He's a great GTA RPer, and he's so funny. He's a taxi driver, and he's had some great RPing going on today. So funny. It was a great thing to have in the background while I was working today. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know, I'm worried about you, don't you? Yeah, I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and he left me the store, I could have sold it. He could have retired, gone back to the old country. Let's just let him go on. But I decided to start a cab fleet with my money he left me to hire the guys from my neighborhood. And that's why I got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air, though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. So how's the game audio now? Can you guys give me some more feedback? Because we're kind of into the game now. I think it's just kind of going to be this chill music. So, you guys let me know if it's too quiet, too loud. What do we got? Perfect levels in Stella's opinion. Alright, sweet. Awesome. That's what I was looking for. So it looks like we're at like 40 decibels. So as long as everybody agrees, I think that's going to be what my aim for from now on. Try to keep it right at 40 decibels. So it looks like this is kind of the tutorial, huh? You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Sounds good? Okay, cool. Right on, right on. Yeah, good idea. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fare is you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive. He flashes a quick, mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers, and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept in 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak. And then, I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back. For you. He doesn't know who I am. Maybe. Awesome, yeah, still, and that's exactly what I'm going for, so that's great. And that is sort of what the levels were looking like, but it's just, decibels can be so subtle sometimes, it feels like, in like their intensity, so that's why I like getting your guys' feedback, for sure. You know, since I'm going to be doing a lot more voice acting tonight, I'm going to go grab some more water. I'm almost out of my water, so let me get that out of the way so I don't have to interrupt like an intense moment or something like that. I'll be right back. Alright. Good on water. I really like the music in this so far. This is pretty cool. Pretty chill. Alright, Mercer out there. We think he's going to come back for you. He doesn't know who I am, or maybe. Yeah, who's we, right? We? Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. Gives you a smile. Half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. Sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right. You have a good evening too. He'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street into the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. Alright. There's a little kitty cat. Start with the cat, huh? A jogger runs by your taxi. You're blinded by his reflective clothing. If I'm blinded by the clothing, am I gonna hurt this animal? I don't want to do that. I just don't know what the picture of the cat's for. Except, I think it's the person you pull up at the sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab for a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. Okay. There's not much going on in the small town in the suburbs. There are a few apartments that still have lights on. A sweet scent hangs in the air. This game already has a cool and eerie vibe. Yeah, right? Yeah. Definitely has the noir thing going on for it. I like that. Eventually, you stub your cigarette and get back into the car. And there's a kitty cat. You jump, startled. The cat has managed to slip into the cab. It's sitting on the back seat, staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, deciding whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you are about to wave your hand, the cat shifts positions to slip. A slip of paper falls from its collar. Pick up the paper. You pick up the piece of paper and unfold it. A fragment of a map of Paris, the Saint-Lazare train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. He seems to be expecting an answer. Are you going somewhere? The cat tilts its head to the side, as if to say yes. You want to go to Saint-Lazare? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods its head no. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. What the hell is this? What the hell is going on? You turn around to face the cat. Okay, fine, I'll take you. You let out a sigh. Okay, fine. You start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation. Normal. This is all perfectly normal. You start the cab, but cast a glance at the cat behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab? You start to laugh. A few minutes go by. You try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither yes or no. More of a plaintive meow. Are you going on vacation? Are you running away from someone? Are you meeting someone? Say nothing. Are you meeting someone? No, that's not it. The cat is staring at you. The conversation seems to bore him. You seem to be well fed. Pretty strange, I must say. Someone hurt you? A plaintive meow. You sigh. Your owner? Another meow, but longer and deeper, more heartfelt. You nod your head. What happened? Was it a man? No answer. A woman? Was she mean to you? The cat seems to be uncertain. She had at the cat. She was overly affectionate. She was not around for you. Change the subject. Huh. She was overly affectionate, maybe? Yeah, poor cat. The cat lets out a string of insistent meows. Touché, that's it. She's too affectionate. And that's why you are running away? The cat is watching you with a steady eye. You are sure you are on the right track. Nice. You have to be careful with people like that. They suffocate you before you even know it. You nod your head. But you ran away. I meet lots of people like you. You stop short. But you're just a cat. You roll your eyes. Behind you, the cat lets out a quiet, reassuring meow. Go on. What I mean is, well, we don't even know we are in a cage. We prefer not to think about it. We are never fully aware of it. You look at the cat. I must be crazy. I'm talking to a... You shake your head. You point to a light in the distance. That's Saint Lazare. We'll be there soon. A few yards later, you stop and drop off the drop-off area in front of the station. The first train doesn't leave for another hour. But where are you going? The cat stares at you without making a noise. Let me guess. Saint Lazare? If you were going to the suburbs of Paris, you wouldn't have needed to come into town. So somewhere in the northwest of France. Normandy, Brittany? I don't know, Normandy? I have no idea, I've never been to France. Somewhere by the sea, huh? The cat is looking at you and meows, a sharp sound, probably a yes, a very hungry yes. For a fish, I guess. You check the time on the dashboard, it's time to go, to get a real customer. You try not to think too much about the situation you're in, and you hope that no one sees you talking to a cat. Go on. I think it's interesting. Let's just keep talking to this cat. It's crazy. I feel like I just broke my headphones real quick. 1 second. Just pop back on there. Yeah, it's just a little plastic cap came off my headphone all of a sudden. Oh yeah, what's up, Nightwolf? Yeah, it's good so far. This is our first customer. It's been a cat, so it really is like throwing me for a loop right away. I'll tell you that. But yeah, so we got attacked by. So there were 3 choices for stories apparently. So we get like 3 mini stories. It seems like. So we're doing the judge, which is the first one, and so we were attacked by a murderer. And our passenger was killed, and we were nearly killed, but we were put into a coma for 2 weeks. And so we've just woken back up, and this is our first night back on the road, and because we do the night shift for taxi driving, and in Paris, that's where we're at. And so yeah, this is my first customer, and it's been a cat, and the cat seems to understand me when I ask it questions, and we found out that it had a overly affectionate owner, I guess, and that it's sort of running away in a way. So we're taking it to Saint Lazare station. So that's where we're at. You haven't missed much. Yeah, you ride when you're good and ready. Yeah, there you go. And you try to keep hydrated. It's gonna be a voice acted one too, so this will be fun. You start to list cities in Normandy. The cat doesn't move a muscle. Cherbourg or Cherbourg. The cat looks up. So it's Cherbourg. Getting close. Saint Malo. Still nothing. I've got it. Douville. A meow of delight. You're smiling too. All of a sudden, you're exhausted. Okay, come on. Time to say goodbye. You get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared on the seat next to the cat. It isn't enough for the fare. Or it is enough for the fare and more? Is that what it said? I think I read that wrong. Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you? I won't ask you where it came from. You smile and lean over to pet the cat. It leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out the shape dashing up the flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. Guess you're good and ready? Yeah, there you go. What's up, Tyler? How's it going, man? Good to see you, bud. Glad you can make it. Hopefully you're ready to enjoy this story with us. You're doing good, man. Really enjoying this so far. This has been pretty cool. Our first customer was a freaking cat, so that's awesome. Maybe I should just leave the cap off of this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just leave it off for now and glue it back on later. Should be okay. You get back in the car. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue. Your right eyelid is twitching. As you start the car, you remember you are allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. When you received $11 tip, 11 cents. Well, I'll just call it like dollars, even though it's euros. Because I'm gonna screw up every time, so who cares? You know what I mean. Alright. Profits $11.26. Alright, any suggestions on who to go next? Because this one's pulsating yellow. These people are closer. Another yellow one over there. We have this worried lady, this old lady. We have this woman here. This guy. Let's go to the closest person. How does that sound? Seems like that would be the most efficient thing to do as a taxi, right? Purava Rao? I'm headed to the Charles de Gaulle I can't say that. Airport. Distance 7.5 kilometers. Fare $25. We're gonna go all the way where? Doesn't let me zoom out, but that's fine. Let's do it. Your passenger is alone and waiting for you on the sidewalk. She gets in the cab and whispers. Hello. She has no handbag or suitcase, just a small handmade sign with an Indian name printed on it. Charles de Gaulle, please. She is young, with a soft and a slight accent. Her face shows no emotion. Her fingers play with a small gold chain around her neck, and it is the only piece of jewelry she has on. You drive, glancing back at her from time to time. Her head seems to be elsewhere. Everything all right, miss? She nods her head gently, cracking a tiny smile. It's really early. The first planes to come in are the worst. Everyone is exhausted, half asleep. Yes, exactly. And she sighs. I must confess, I don't really want to go there. A tiny smile lights her face up for a split second before disappearing. Ah, family? My future husband. Well, future. I've never even met him. Her accent suddenly becomes stronger. You know this habit well. Just before confiding in you, passengers tend to relax into their natural accent. I'm sure he's a great guy, as they say here. Sadness appears in her voice. But I don't know him at all. My parents chose him. It's crazy, isn't it? Are you shocked? I guess I can say yes? Be on her side, right? I feel like either that or say nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and go with yes. Be on her side. Seems like she needs somebody in her corner or something, right? A sad smile washes briefly over her face. It's tradition, or at least it used to be. My parents are a bit old school, even by current standards in India. I chose to study here and not in England like my sisters. She flashes a smile. I fell in love with Paris and decided to stay. I almost never go home. Actually, this is home now. Anyway, my parents insist I meet him. He decided to make the trip, saying he had a meeting as a pretext. I get little symbols here. Happy and then like some static here. It's unacceptable. It's hard to hold it against them. Say nothing. It's hard to hold it against them. I don't really understand that. It's unacceptable seems a bit much, like to have that hardcore of an opinion of it. Like, just listen, right? Just say nothing. I'm gonna say nothing. It's understandable from their perspective. I mean, it worked for them, right? You sense something bubbling up, anger, before she freezes. Some people refuse to let their emotions out. Yeah, I know, so I just like to, if you guys have like any input on what you'd like, you know, because sometimes when you're watching something happen, I've definitely played games in front of people where people are like, oh, you should choose that one, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I totally know that you're fine with whatever happens, as am I, for the most part. I do like to try to be nice whenever I can, I just for empathy's sake, I guess. But yeah, I'm always glad that you're willing to support any option. She slowly regains control of her body. What day trips would you recommend outside Paris? Nearby? She nods. Vesalius, of course. It's really beautiful. Definitely worth it. Her face lights up. Yeah, you know what? I think I do remember a few times when you have spoken about it, so that's true. Because, I mean, when it comes to most of these game choices, it's kind of interesting no matter what we choose, right? So I can see why it's hard to, to have a strong opinion one way or the other, right? Oh, yes, perfect. I'm sure he'll like that. Or there's a Fontainebleau. There's a huge park, very wild if he likes hiking. I don't really know. She smiles shyly. You prefer to say nothing. The airport is not much further. You enjoy the ride of the game and like staying in the game. We explored other options too. Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when it's like made easily enough for us, like I'm totally down to explore other options. It's if I don't have to play like another hour of the same game we just played or whatever to get to it, you know what I mean? But there's always that we can come back, right? We've talked about doing that with Animal Farm to see if we can get one of the other endings there sometime. We just got to put enough distance between. But I love the Stanley Parable for the fact that you can just get through all of them in 2 hours, pretty much. You know, that was a lot of fun. Something about the young woman makes you feel uncomfortable. She looks as if she's about to scream, but holding it in. Time passes and silence fills the cab. Which terminal? Your question startles her. Terminal C. 2C, I think. It's supposed to be a nice day out today. Is it an Indian airline? Nod. Should I try to change the subject? Try to get her mind off of whatever's like really making her mad? Maybe that could be cool. I want us to go down the weirdest paths. Yeah, I can see that for sure. That definitely seems in line with what you want me to do most of the time, and I will. It depends on the length of gameplay. Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you know how we feel about backtracking, so. But yeah, I mean, if there's ever like a weird path you want me to go down that I'm not already choosing to go down, guys, in this game, definitely let me know. I think I'm going to try to take her mind off him. Yeah, let's get weird. Let's get weird. I should probably get that as a little clip from Workaholics. That's like a part where they chant that. A smile crosses her face, then quickly disappears. Yes, I hope so. Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. You park the car in front of Terminal 2C. Your passenger grabs her sign and exits the cab. She pauses for a second, as if she were about to say something. Then she disappears. 2582, tip 826, profits 34. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets back into the cab. Having a good night? For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself there's something about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us. I'll let her keep going. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you haven't gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. Not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he'd had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and address. I checked. Yeah, right, Splurgers? I mean, with this one, this makes sense because he almost died in a murder from the judge, and so this is one of the cops that's probably, like, questioned him. Because you came out of a coma 2 weeks later after the attempted murder on you. They did murder your passenger, so it's probably not quite that random to him, but yeah, what's with these intense people for sure. That's normal, you'd say. If they get word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning, no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I've never done this. She shrugs. Don't worry. You're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest or deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to give me more information. Yeah, now it's getting interesting. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days, just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? I did what I could. Say nothing. What if I refuse? If you refuse? Simple. I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. You'll be put under house arrest. Spend nights in jail. Do you have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that terrorist. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. How do we do that? Just get a little bit rough with it. This is probably against department policy. Yeah, I know. That's why we got to keep it on DL. It's got to be discreet. You know, like under the table. She's totally like blackmailing him at this point, right? Crank up the edge. You know. Here we go. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. She smiles. Let me tell you, with a face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you in open arms. You have no right. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. You can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons you want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. And don't forget, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch. Yeah, whatever. If that makes you feel better. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then. Not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered, available in your room. Alright, here goes. Alright, yeah, totally intense. I feel like I couldn't quite figure out a voice for Busset. I just tried to make it subtle, I guess. Alright, here we go. I'm really glad we picked the cat, and of all the people we could have picked at that point. I'm really glad that was the cat. They probably expect you to, so I put the cat like right there, probably. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hang up the big corkboard where you used to pin the photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipes shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Got killer case, autopsy report, victim 4, autopsy report, victim 3. Let's start with the killer case. It's dossier. Picture crime scene 1. Hold to investigate. Clue. Picture crime Scene 2. It's weird, I'm just like, I'm not actually getting to look at it. Like, I don't know, is it just putting it on the board maybe when I'm doing that? Okay, board. Oh, I actually get to slide these around. Interesting. Let's move these. This is kind of cool. Alright, let's get everything on the board then. Hey, what's up, Shyla? How's it going? We are looking at clues right now that we were given by a cop that's blackmailing us into helping her with this investigation about a killer who almost murdered us. Yeah, phone autocorrect dates me, yeah. Yeah, it'll do that. Yeah, then it puts Shayla, yeah. Okay, so they all share this height thing, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. How do I get those lines to look nice? I can keep it high or low. Probably keep it low. We got this one. Killer knew the victims or researched them. Killer left message in chalk on first 3 crime scenes. Victims killed with 1 bullet in neck. Death equal execution. No signs of violence. Message on crime scene 2 equal you deserve this. And that connects Perio. Cop in Paris. Dad was a cop. Financial affairs. Died 2 years ago. Mom got health issues after Richtoden health scandal. Gay in a relationship. Never disclosed this information at work. Homeless man with an unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Borgrain. Victim 2 in the 90s. Got health issues after Richtoden health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. And they're connected by this message on crime scene 2. I don't quite understand how that works. Yeah, I don't think Bolin's been by yet. But I miss him if he has. Okay, is that all the evidence we got then? Yeah, it looks like it. Next documents. Middle clicking's not doing the next documents thing, so that we must be done. Let's end the night, I guess. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed, your body aches, and you are in pain. Haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah, I think it's been maybe a couple streams since he's been in here, but he's probably a busy man, you know? You can tell you need to get more sleep. And hopefully he's not working too hard at work, you know? I know he's said he's been having trouble with that work-life balance, so hopefully he's doing good. You glance at your investigation board. It looks awfully empty. And are you sure this is the best? It's too soon to say. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Your eyes close and you can feel yourself drifting off. Until you hear a voice break out in the distance. He's desperate. And then silence. You close your eyes, without any idea where the voice is coming from. A second later, you're asleep. What was that voice? You open one eye. It's the cat! You stretch slowly, it's already nighttime out. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. Yeah. Well, there was a cat at the beginning. My first client or whatever, my first passenger was a cat that I picked up, and we took to a train station. It was pretty interesting. We actually talked to the cat for a while and everything. Not that it actually said anything, it just meowed or whatever. Is it wearing a striped hat? No. It was just a regular looking cat. It had a little collar on it, and it had a little scrap of paper that had a map to the station that it wanted to go to. It dropped out, and we could have chosen to shoo it away, but I kept keeping the cat, and then we were asking it yes or no questions, and it would nod or meow or whatever. And then we opened the door and it ran away, and there was money left on the seat. I bet you kept the cat. No, it ran away. It's a very independent cat, and it had money somehow. So I thought that was all interesting. All right, let's see. So, okay, the gold ones are probably suspects or something then, right? Let's see how this is where click and drag. Okay, no, that's not quite it. What's this? Oh man, I don't know what that is. I just clicked on it wanting to look at what it was. The woman is waking quick, is waking quickly down the street? That said waking, not walking, right? Khajiit has coin. You park a few streets away from the Argentinian embassy. You wait there for your contact. Is this busted? You sigh. It seems so odd to have a contact. So excessive. The guy is one of your regulars poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. You get out of your taxi and walk towards the big metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century maybe. Lots of wrought iron. The gate opens and someone moves towards you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was... Alright, so are we getting... Is following getting weird, guys? Should I say, who are you? Do we question it? Don't move? Don't move is kind of an interesting choice. I don't know, this is one I think maybe question that shit. You are investigating. So question, right? Question makes sense. I'm gonna take that as question. Who are you? Jamie. It's me, Jamie. You're David's buddy. You immediately recognize his accent. You don't feel like you're in any danger and decide to follow him. You walk into a narrow covered passageway, probably the entrance to a parking garage. Unless you want to be raped, murdered, yeah. And or. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up his face for a second. A young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young. Very young. That'll be 250 euros. Is it worth it? What? For the intel? Yeah, for the intel. He laughs, a strange guttural sound. What, do you think it was a date? You want information on Goro Disher? Gosh, these names. I'm not familiar. I got info on Goro Disher, and it'll cost you 250 euros. So what'll it be? Bargain. He raises his hands in front of his chest. His accent becomes stronger. No, it's 250 euros or nothing. If someone learns I fished around, they'll fire me on the spot. I guess we'll pay, you know? I guess we need information. I don't know if we need it on this guy. Can you read it in a shadier voice? I don't know what that would mean. Yeah, you know what I mean? I get really nervous when you do that kind of stuff. When you label things like that. Not you specifically, but when you say stuff like that, because then it's whatever I choose is oh, so that's what he thinks. That is. So I just try to choose a random one most of the time. But I'm trying to get better. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for it. I don't know who this guy we're getting information is on, but I had enough money, so I'll go for it. Trying to make it cheaper, but oh well. For that price, you hope that the intel is good. You pay. Yeah, better be freaking good. Listen up, because I'm not going to say it twice. Goro Disher is definitely a colonel from the junta, one of the few who wasn't arrested and put on trial. He is responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He tortured and killed them. You know, we don't like him much here, and the rich Argentinians in Paris love him. They really respect him. Murder equals suspense in itself, yeah? Let's see, respected him, thanks, is that all? We'll go with that. Maybe that'll get some more information. The difference doesn't seem important to him. Yeah, if it makes you happy. He looks back at you. There's one last thing. I read in the newspaper that the killer wrote a message in chalk. Time's up. It was a slogan at the end of the junta. A sort of watchword for the opponents. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. A second later, you're back in your taxi with a hole in your wallet, but with new information on one of the victims. Okay, so that guy was specifically... Oh yeah, that was the one that the other guy had worked for. That was on the list? Okay, man, these names... It's gonna take me a second to get that. If you follow this lead, maybe your investigation will move forward. So I wonder if I have more information, if I can ask more questions of these people. We'll have to get into that. You start the car and get back to your shift. You know, I have a question for you guys. In a voice actor, or like when I choose a voice, for example, since this is like what I'm talking about, is it, if you had to choose one being more important than the other, would it be like the way if I read it in a more tone that someone might be reading that in, or if I read it in a crazier voice, like a more distinct accent or whatever, or manner of speaking, or if I actually try to say it like the way the person would say it? Like, I just wonder if you guys have like a ranking order, how you would rank those two qualities in a voice. Because I think I'd try to make it as realistic as possible, and I kind of put that above the voice. More distinct accent is more entertaining. We can read. Well, the whole point is that you don't read, right? I mean, interesting. So you would like the voice being more distinct over it being like making sense the way I say it. Because I guess what I'm saying is like reading for me, like I'm a little dyslexic. I mean, I was dyslexic growing up, so I try to focus on like reading it correctly and giving a proper like read of it as an actor would. Because it's hard. Like it's kind of like you got to focus on one or the other, at least for me, you know. Because I'm still like trying to get good at it. And so, like, doing a distinct voice, I might be able to do that, but I'll probably read it in a way where it's like, whoa, I did not put the inflections in the right place, and it maybe doesn't sound like the way a person would say it, you know what I mean? Voice is being distinct, I guess, okay. Like my state voice, okay. Right on. I guess I'll have to practice on that. I guess that's what's most important to you guys. That's definitely something I have to practice. I'm going to switch into sitting mode real quick before we get to the next one, guys. One sec. Yeah, I'm gonna just have to do whatever I can, you know, because I'm not like a professional or whatever. I was just interested in knowing, like, if you know, how you guys would rank that or whatever. Because for me, like, it's not as much of a distinct accent. I would do it the other way. Like, I would prefer someone read it the way a person might actually say it. That where it like I'd rather someone act it well than act it like extravagantly, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather a good read over a different accent, personally. But really, you want both, and that's what I'm trying to give you. You know what I mean? But just, like, between, like, what is more important, I guess. Because if someone was doing a goofy accent, but they did the read horribly, then it just, I feel like it loses all of its, like, punch, you know? Alright, let's see. So we got this guy, and I can't click on him or that. I just go straight to him. What if I right-click? No, nothing. So all I get's the picture. Looks like we got 3/4 tank of gas. Oh, thank you, Stella. Sorry, I think I missed your chat there. You like all the voice I do. Thank you. You understand what I mean? Totally. Right on. Thank you. Don't need to go outside your accent comfort zone for it, though. Yeah, and I can't do the accent stuff very well because I don't know many accents, so I try to kind of stick with American accents because that's what I'm most familiar with. Like, I know, like, this is in Paris and stuff, but, like, I can't. Like, it's like some Argentinian guy, like, I don't know what they sound like in Argentina. Like, crap. There's no way I could do stuff like that, so don't expect that from me, certainly. But I would like to try to work on more flavor. And I think this kind of subject matter is a little bit harder too, just because it's so serious. So it's like when it's Mario, I can just go all like cartoony or whatever, and it doesn't matter. And this one, it's just like a little bit harder. I feel like I'm trying to be more subtle because it's like noir, because I don't want to undermine the tone. You know what I mean? So maybe don't expect too many crazy voices out of this game. Maybe that will be where we should set the bar. It's kind of like more of like a serious kind of tone. Like more of like an audio book type of situation, I think, is maybe what this is going to end up for me. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe I'll get a little squirrely sometimes. All right, let's go. Let's pick up this old guy. Let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, we need gruff characters beaten down by life. Yeah, right? Yeah, you never know. You're feeling a little squirrely, Charlie. You never know. Ternus. Must be a French word. Let's go. His name is Francois de la Nere. I probably did not pronounce that right. Alright, let's do it. You immediately recognize the next passenger getting in your taxi. You never watch television, rarely listen to the radio, you don't read the newspaper, and yet you know Francois de la Niere's face. Polemicist, novelist, columnist, politician too, I think. I like those twim emotes. Your passenger distractingly gives you his address. You start driving. He appears to be out of breath. His voice and hands are shaking. Unbelievable! He separates each syllable as if he's going to protect him from the violence around him. Unbelievable! Is everything okay? Hey, what's up, Layla? How are you doing? Thanks for coming to hang out. One sec. Oh my gosh, we got so many people hanging out. What's up, everybody? It's a freaking party in here. I didn't even know it. Can you even begin to fathom what a public danger this represents? What? A mere 5 minutes ago, I wanted to cross the street. Suddenly, slicing through the darkness in deafening silence came an electric car. Its asphalt-coated tires drove right over the tip of my loafer. It's shot, I can tell. The leather is compressed and streaked with mud and soot. It's a travesty, a travesty! He begins writing furiously. You catch a few words from time to time. What for? For the environment? Create more road deaths? Save polar bears? He leaves you hanging for a second before grinning. Another badly thought out stunt from the snowflake hipster lobby? Quinoa. Electric planes that will crash into Charles de Gaulle. Quail, I don't know how to say that word. Airport without a sound. You hear a throaty laugh. No, not feeling well, but much I can do, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that I'm feeling well. I'm doing pretty good, and we're having pretty fun with this game. Little does the game know Domm has an electric car. Yeah, no, it's just Francois. This guy is apparently a, I don't know, the kind of person who doesn't like, the earth conservation or whatever. I think it's just he's just bitter because he got his foot ran over and he saw it was an electric car, and now it's just like he's just blaming it on electric cars, you know what I mean? He's just blowing it out of proportion, dude. He looks like that guy from Mad Men, yeah? You can see that. The earth, save intact, clean, but at what cost? Or safe, I don't know, he said save. No way, Jose. Our planet produces oil, so we must use it. It would be unnatural not to. Oh, he's one of these people. Unnatural indeed. He chuckles crudely. rise up in defense of the sweet purr of the convertible just as they would to hoot of the owl in danger of extinction in the lush forests of the Champagne region? I'm only getting part of that statement. Ah, murderer, assassin! The furious silence made to oppress us. He's just mad because he didn't know the car was coming because it was so quiet, I guess. He puts down his notebook. A wolfish grin spreads across his face. Yes, magnificent editorial. Just magnificent. Oh, I see. This is his editorial he's writing, okay. What about you? Would you want to have a silent car? Yes, I do have one. Why on God's green earth? It's better for the environment. Better for the environment? Come now, what is environmentally friendly about a weapon of mass destruction? These cars are going to kill hundreds, thousands of people. This silence will be the carbon dioxide of the 21st century. They will infiltrate our cities, our countryside. They'll mow us down on foot, on bike, even in another car. I'll tell it all as I see it. Noise is life. A city without noise is not a city. Mark my words. You drive in silence for a few minutes. In the back seat, the pulmicist is fuming, and you catch occasional snippets of nonsense. Oh, what's up, Banjax? You're pretty sure this guy knows the murderer? Yeah, I can see that. Greetings, dropping to say hi and lurk a bit before bed. Right on. Doing good, man. This game's been pretty interesting so far. I'm enjoying the way the story has been told. Pretty cool. I'm really interested to get into more of like the murder clue stuff here, but I do like the characters they've made so far. The taxi has almost reached your passenger's place. It's just here. You pull up in front of the address, an old building, freshly renovated. On the top floor, the bay windows shine faintly in the darkness as the Eiffel Tower's spotlight washes over them. Your passenger sighs. Oh, the devils, the fools! It's the middle of the night and they're still having the time of their lives. He opens the window on the side and screams at a packed cafe. The heated patio is filled with young people, well dressed and quite drunk. When will you cease this madness? Then turns to you to whisper, as if in secret. Every night they make one hell of a racket, impossible to get a wink of sleep. He pays, gets out of the car, and in front of the bar in 3 angry leaps. Yeah, get off my lawn, right? That's exactly what it sounds like. You can hear his voice from far away, a few words and some outdated swearing with a whiff of salinity. Or senility. Is that how you pronounce that? Because it was like senile. You stop listening and drive off. At least we made some money. Money, 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 money. Still haven't made up the money that we spent on that info, though. Okay, so we got a golden outline person here. Holy crap, why do I gotta make such a roundabout trip when he's right there? Look how long that is. What the heck? GPS? That would be a shorter drive than that would. Where is this guy? Oh, I kinda wanna go to one of these bordered ones, because I wonder what that means. I think we should do that. Money is the anthem of success, you know. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. So is this basically a taxi driver solving mysteries game? I mean, sort of. It's a noir game, so the reason why you're solving mysteries is because you were attacked by this guy called the Judge. And like really, there's 3 different like main stories you can go with at the beginning of the game. So we're just in the one called the Judge. And so there's this murderer called the Judge. He's been murdering people. You were attacked by him, but you survived only because they like induced a coma and saved your life in the hospital. And so now you're back out on the street, and this cop who's involved in the investigation is blackmailing you, saying that she's going to blame the murders on you if you don't help her with it. And so she's kind of like pushing you to do this. So that's like kind of the backstory. But yeah, it basically is just a taxi driver solving mysteries. Yeah. So, but we've just started, so I'm not quite sure how the solving mysteries part works yet. So we're kind of figuring it out. Yeah, it's been pretty cool so far. I like the whole noir style. So I'm gonna come down here to this outlined one because I want to see what that's all about. So at one point we went to this eyeball one right here, and we paid like 250 euros for some information from some guy. And then like after we go through like a night of working, we go back home and we get to look at all of our information on our like conspiracy theory board and stuff. So, oh, she's gonna take us all the way down here. All right, Claudia Campos. You pick up your next passenger in front of the Paris office of the medical examiner, the morgue. When she gets in, you're surprised. How can she be a suspect? Okay, so she's one of the suspects. Okay, that's what the blinking thing is probably then. Okay, so this could be pretty potent stuff. You just find the taxi part appealing? Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny about it, and I hadn't really put this together, but I was watching Abdul HD on Twitch earlier today, and he does GTA 5 RP, and he is a taxi driver. And so, like, my whole day is just going to be nothing but taxi content. I just realized that. I think it's so funny. But yeah, if any of you guys haven't checked out Abdul HD, he is hilarious. He streams during the day because he's from Abu Dhabi, but he is such a funny streamer. Does a great job doing roleplay in GTA. When she gets in, you're surprised. How could she be a suspect? Yeah, I already read that. Here we go. Her face, beautiful and soft, doesn't go with her clothing, her style, or her attitude. She gives you her address and you start driving. Her voice is dry, frank, and she has an accent you have trouble determining. South American, maybe? She seems far away, lost in thought. A few seconds go by and she still hasn't taken so much as a look at you. Everything okay? She almost jumps out of her seat and looks like she wants to disappear. Yes, everything is fine. That accent again, one you can't place. Let's see. She seems a little, like, uneasy, so we'll ask about the long day. Long day? In a manner of speaking, some days are harder than others. Some days take more out of you. They're more demanding than others. A smile runs across her face like a shooting star. A second goes by. Slowly. Very slowly. You wish you had the time and resources, RP a taxi driver. Yeah, dude. Abdul makes me want to try to do it. He makes it look like it's so much fun, dude. Then a meteorite explodes. Your passenger breaks down. Oh no. Try to calm her down. Are you okay? She raises a hand to silence you. Between sobs, you hear her say something. Give me a minute. Please. Without a word and without the slightest noise, you slow down. The road passes by slowly, in no hurry. After a moment, she sits up. And Windows decided to let me know, so I don't know if you guys heard that too. It's kind of funny. Windows had to chime in as well. Can I ask you something? You nod. She takes a deep breath. This may seem like a ridiculous question, or at least a stupid one. Actually, it's completely stupid. You give her an encouraging smile. But I'd like you to hit on me. She blushes and immediately follows up. I mean, not for real, just for play. She just wants some RP, you know how it is. Like we're at a bar, like you want to buy me a drink. She shakes her head. Forget it, it's stupid, totally stupid. Alright guys, what do you do? Let's get weird and accept? Is that weird? I know you guys won't like to get weird. So, let's get weird. Let's get weird. Is accept getting weird? Or should we ask for clarification? So we got weird so far. Yes, do it. Here we go. All right. Taxi RP. RP into my taxi. Sure. A moment of silence. She seems surprised. Really? Yeah. You don't mind? I thought you would refuse. I just have a few rules, if you don't mind. First, I don't want to talk about Argentina, my home, my parents. Avoid the subject. She pauses. Does that work for you? You nod. Good. Second, I don't want to talk about work. I'm a medical examiner. Do you know what that is? Yes. I cut open dead bodies. I take out bullets, tumors, cirrhosis-filled livers. At first, people are always fascinated, but they quickly get disgusted. Yeah, it tells you anyway, right? I think that's what I say. You know what that is? Yes? Well, here's what it is. So, nothing about work. Let's start, if you're ready. You nod. We're in a bar. It's not very late. Not very late, but we're the only ones there. I'm alone at the bar, finishing a drink. I get up to leave. Silence. Please, go ahead. Hitting on a passenger. This is definitely a first. You've got to find a good line, something that will set the tone. Bold line, straightforward line, romantic line, polite line. I hope it's a first. Yeah, right? A polite line? Alright, there you go. Alright, I'll go with polite. Polite, damn it! Yeah, excuse me. Yes? Her voice is softer, her accent stronger. May I join you? Of course. She sits up a little and points to the imaginary bar next to her. Buy me a drink? Of course. How about a little game? You look like the kind of guy who drinks cocktails. Something sweet. I could be wrong, but... And what about me? Well, what is my kind of drink? She rolls the R in the last word. Something stiff, something sweet, something subtle, something strong. Something subtle? I think like stiff and strong sound like the same thing. Am I wrong? Is stiff supposed to be different than strong? Because to me you're talking about the alcohol, right? I think subtle is what I would go with. Do you think subtle too? That beard screams cocktails. Right? I know, I thought that was kind of funny too. Yeah, let's go with subtle. What do you mean? You want something special. You want to be surprised by life. She bursts out laughing. Aren't you good at this game? She gets back into character. Yes, that's it exactly. You read me like a book. She stares at you. Something about her posture in the back seat is different. Don't you think this goes by too slowly? Or don't you think time goes by too slowly? That's just it, my bad. I do. We wait, we hold on, we get bored. I'd like it all to go faster, for things to speed up. She relaxes, giggles. Well, he's a taxi driver. He knows people, I suppose. Yeah, right? Probably meets a lot, right? She's letting go. She looks at you expectantly. You're very beautiful. I like the way you laugh. What you do for a living. Can't do that. So how about I like the way you laugh? Yeah, laugh. There you go. You do? That's an odd compliment. It's true. Thank you. She closes her eyes and stays that way for a little while. A smile settles onto her face, warm, natural, and uncontrolled smile. Thank you. You were perfect, unusually kind. She nods slowly. I must confess that the way you came on to me was truly charming. You have very kind eyes. She wants a D. Oh yeah. Just saying. Your passenger sighs contently. She seems happy, relieved. This is not what I expected from a suspect pickup, to be honest. Then we went a different direction. You pull up in front of the address she gave you. It's strange. What's that? There's something different about you. You're not like other men. As if... She hands you her fare and slips you a tip. Don't refuse it, please. It means something to me. You nod. I hope to run into you again. You shiver. One last smile. Goodbye. She gets out of the cab. Watch her until she disappears into her building. Oh, look at that tip! Because we charmed the pants off her. Alright, here we go. Charm is money, baby. Alright, we got more than half a tank of gas. I think we'll probably be alright. Because we went pretty far and didn't use that much gas. We must have a hybrid. Just like Abdul. Abdul Taxi. There's a Santa Claus dude. Should we go for him? Where's my next suspect? Don't have any suspects looking for cabs right now. Let's go to Santa. Oh, it is Santa. Nice. I was just going to that. That's funny. Can take us back up there. Okay. Your next passenger smells like beer. I like how he's sitting in the back seat. Just yeah, I'm Phantom. No, it's even worse. He's like every single fiber of Santa's suit has been soaking in a keg. Oh gosh. Yeah, why Santa's always got to be drunks? Come on, dash away. His breath is 96% brandy. Your eyes are starting to sting. I'm parked somewhere near the Champs-Élysées. Oh, shit. The name of the street is... His head is spinning and he does his best to hang onto the door. Impossible. It'll come back to me. Go ahead, drive. You start driving and silently wonder how to ask your passenger if he has enough money to cover his fare. He glances back to your passenger. He's mumbling to himself, but you can't quite make out what he's saying. Christmas is over, so why is he still dressed up? What's the suit for? You have a nice evening. Say nothing. What's the suit for? I would drink too if I had to have kids pee on my lap all day. Yeah, I can see that. I get that. He turns to look at you, wide-eyed. Suit? Well, yeah. The Santa suit? Silence. More silence. Is he so drunk he doesn't realize he's wearing a costume? This is no costume, kid. This is what I wear to work, just like you know? Points at his clothes. You don't dress like that in real life, do you now? He stares at you and bursts out laughing. I'm messing with you, kid. He lowers his voice. He's confiding in you. After working my ass off all year long, I like to hit my favorite pubs. I get monumentally wasted. He coughs. Here, in Paris, there's a bunch of bistros perfect for just such an occasion. No one talks to you and they have white wine so dry it eats away at the inside of your mouth. There's so many different types of brandy. Pear brandy, cognac. He closes his eyes in delight. And sometimes I order just one eeny-weeny beer to cleanse the palate. He's almost whispering. Okay, it's usually not one of them fancy microbrews there. He jumps. Oops, but don't tell anyone, okay? Just imagine the people found out Santa Claus thought the beer here tasted like pith. He laughs a sparkling laugh. When he stops, it's just to throw out non-committally. Anyway, you can't say anything anymore. Honestly, with all the trouble I go to, people should just leave me the fuck alone. All those fair weather activists, they still want their little snot-nosed miracles to get the last stupid toy. Oh hey, speaking of snot-nosed kids, what is it with this manure pile of a new generation? 50 years back, you could give a kid a book and he'd go on about it with his whole life, all starry-eyed. But today's little whiners, what an eyesore. Fucking hell. They want to have it all, but don't like anything. They all have GSMs when they're 8. Those things cost a whole month's wages. How can you possibly make them happy after that? How? He's staring at you, waiting for you to answer. Wooden toys? A trip? No idea. Don't answer. I don't know what a GSM is. GSM. Anybody familiar with that? I can't think of what that is. Kids getting GSM? Maybe it's something that's in Europe or something? But I bet it's an electronic. Yeah, but, you know, because phones equal bad, right? The older generations. Global system for communication. According to quick Google. Okay. So it is probably like a cell phone, right? So I think Tyler was right, basically. It sounds like. Okay. Yeah, basically a phone. Yeah, there you go. Is that what they call it in Europe or something? Or like the older generation does or something? It's like an old term for it. Alright, so wooden toys, a trip, no idea. How about wooden toys? Wooden toys? A look of disgust washes over his face. Now, who actually likes wooden toys? What kids these days want are machine guns and dolls whose hair they can fix. He seems to have calmed down for a second, but it was just an illusion. Speaking of which, both girls and boys like those dolls whose hair they can fix. Oh gosh, here it comes. He twitches his mustache in silence. Back when I still made toys for kids, I could tell you they couldn't care less about them. Couldn't give a damn. They just wanted to have fun, play, laugh, and forget that their parents were losers. He leans over to you, rife with anger. Fuck, that's the real problem. I'm telling you, parents are losers. Idiots. Putting kids into this world, those kids haven't got a clue. Am I right or am I right? I mean, have you seen the state of the ice cap these days? Have you? Huh? Because there's not much of it left. He pauses. Now, I can't say it's all bad. I don't have as many polar bears coming into my yard. Damn nasty beasts. Vicious. Mean. I'm not sad to be rid of them. Santa's on a Madden. Yeah. It's funny because he's like actually talking like he's Santa, right? Like he's in the North Pole and stuff. Oh, you know, I just realized that at the top of the map, like even when I'm just sitting here waiting, it's still driving forward very slowly. He heaves alongside through his beard. Before, things were different. Tears from the corner of his eyes. Shit, I can't talk about the past without crying like a little girl. He throws you a sideways glance. No need to stare. You don't even have time to react and he starts back into his rant. I remember you, you know. To tell the truth, I remember everyone, every single person. You were an angry one. So terribly angry. And your letters, your handwriting. Holy fuck, were they hell to decipher. Don't worry though, the elves handle all that for me. You could hear a hint of disgust in his voice when he brought up the elves. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to do nothing. Got a work call. What have we learned recently? We haven't really learned much. We did have a ride with a suspect. Our last customer was a suspect, and we did like this weird like flirting role play with her. We cheered her up, but we just had to like flirt with her as if we were at a bar because she just wanted to role play it really quick because she's like emotionally unstable or something. But we didn't learn any new information about the killer for him. And now we're driving Santa around, and he seems to think he's actually Santa, but he's like super drunk. And he just hates the new generation and hates cell phones. And he's actually speaking as though he's Santa. And he's talking right now about how he knew me and that I was just such an angry kid and stuff. So, kind of interesting. Okay, we did stop at this point on the top. That's interesting. Yeah, you were furious. It's like someone punched you in the stomach. Your brother was giving you hell. Someone wrenching your gut. Man, what? He suddenly thinks of something and stops talking. His gaze wanders outside. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Should I not react, or should I react or not react? What do you guys think? I could go either way, really. I think not reacting would not give him the satisfaction of thinking he was right, but like letting him know or thinking he was right would could be interesting to see what he does. Because we don't really know if he's right or not, so I guess we kind of get to decide whether he's right. Any suggestions? All right, let's see how he knows all that. You still don't get who I am? You stare at him in the rearview mirror. Look, kid, I'm not going to spell it out for you. And something tells me you'd rather avoid the subject. A little something called jail. Another punch to the stomach. So there's your Christmas presents. We're not going to talk about it. He smiles, opens his eyes wide. Wait, I think we're almost there. Slow down a bit, kid. He reaches outside for it. Or he searches outside for it. You looking for your car? What are you looking for? Say nothing. You looking for your car? My car? He burst out laughing. yeah, right. I work out of a convertible. Roof open and everything. He coughs again. Shouldn't be hard to spot. There's a sleigh and a couple half-dozen reindeer. He heaves a funny sigh. I'm sure it's like in an alleyway somewhere. Oh, right over here. Turn right. You obey and go up the street you were on a few seconds before. A few meters down, your passenger stifles a yelp. Oh shit, it was right there! Drive around the block. You turn again. In back, your passenger is mumbling. I'm gonna have to get one of these thin jamming jigs, thingamajigs, GPSs that help me find my sleigh more easily. Yeah, hopefully it's money for this yet, because he sent us around and around. You eventually pull over in an alley. No light, a few empty office buildings, and some trash cans that haven't been emptied for days. Kid, sorry about before. I didn't mean, you know, to bring up any sore points. He pays his fare. Watch your back, kid. He gets out and slams the door. He slips on the wet sidewalk, grabs onto a street lamp with a heavy and awkward step, and clumps along the alley. I'm gonna stay. We gotta see if this is really Santa. You sit for a moment, watching. Like SantaCon. At the end of the alleyway, he starts rummaging through a pile of boxes, pushes a trash can on wheels aside, and disappears. Stay a bit longer. A few minutes go by, and nothing. You turn the key and start driving again. You open the window for a second, hoping to get rid of the alcohol fumes. Something tells you they'd stick around for a while. So he was just a homeless man talking like he was Santa. That's what that sounds like to me. I almost kind of believe it could have been actually Santa just because of that cat situation at the beginning. Made me think, like, I don't know, maybe they would do that. Who knows? But homeless guy makes more sense. At least he paid his fare. Alright, we got half a tank of gas. We're still doing good. We got the shady person here. Is this like a TV head person? What is that? Oh, we got a suspect. We got a suspect over here. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the suspect. You totes want to believe it was Santa, yeah? I totally get that. Is that like a monkey man or something? Look at that. He's wearing a mask. After a while, that Santa was gonna hurt my throat. Getting a little too scruffy with it. Sure to hydrate. Paul Marie Frankbernard. Hospital, St. Louis, please. Your next passenger is your suspect, a retired policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hospital, St. Louis, please. You nod your head and start the engine. He yawns. Sorry, I didn't sleep a wink. Same here. Your passenger smiles, slightly embarrassed. Sorry, I didn't mean to. No problem. When I was your age, I could go entire nights without sleeping. I would sleep in my desk for a couple hours and I was ready to go for the day. But now, I went one night without sleep and I'm going to feel it for a week. His eyes shifty. I don't know what got into me. It's like I'm waiting for someone to come home. Like I had a son or a daughter telling me, I swear, Dad, I'll be home at midnight. But at 3 a.m., they're still not home. Looks out the window. Dawn has not yet broken over Paris. He clears his throat. I think it comes from the mother of a murder victim on one of my old cases. An investigation from a few years ago. He pauses. Your taxi purrs like a cat after a good meal. I ran into her on the steps of the courthouse just before the trial. She told me. She told me. He closes his eyes, concentrates. The hardest part is hearing a noise in the hallway and knowing it can't be her coming home. The hardest part is knowing she'll never come home again. He slowly sighs. They dispatched me to the parking lot where the body of the young woman was found. She'd been raped and her throat was slit. It was the work of a monster, a wild beast. He raises his hand like he wants to interrupt himself. I honestly think every man has it in him, you know? It's in our instincts, carved into our genes. She was 19 years old. You can hear the anger in his voice. 19. More anger. Just a kid. Gets back to his story. There was blood on the pavement, a little river of blood. A young woman was propped up on a post, her t-shirt pulled over her face. Son of a bitch didn't even have the balls to look her in the eye. Anger continues to make his voice spark from time to time. He'd gone through her bag, looking for spare change. All he found was some makeup and old check stubs. He found his fingerprints on the stubs. He'd used his thumb to fan through her expenses. At the time, I remember thinking what a shame it was to have bought all this stuff only to die right after. But I know it was just my mind's way of keeping busy, to avoid looking death in the face. When you're a cop, as you get older, you learn to look everyone in the eye. It makes them more human, whether they're alive or dead, victims or criminals. Stops. Did you catch the killer? Yes, but much later. He'd just started working with DNA. We were still on shaky ground. We made mistakes. 5 victims in all. That was when I had to learn to look people in the eye. The victims, I couldn't let them turn into numbers, evidence. It seemed crucial to inform the victims' parents of our successes and our mistakes. and it was crucial to reduce the monster that did it to what he was, an abused kid, forgotten and destroyed by the system. He got a life sentence. Good for him. But the system failed us. Failed the victims. When it comes to crime, there is no winner. You can see his head shaking. He sees you looking. These old stories still get to me, years later. There's a long pause. Your passenger seems out of breath. He sits up, squares his shoulders, and changes positions. You're coming up to the hospital. The system. We don't control it, it controls us. No more, no less. It decides whether we're born here or there. His fingers reach towards the skyline. It makes us grow up and teaches us that women are fragile objects and men violent animals. And up to the moment the system kills us, we try to break its rules. You park the taxi, your passenger doesn't budge. Do you cry sometimes? Silence. He looks you in the eye. Yes. He looks off into the distance. Good. Good. I didn't learn how until it was too late. But it's natural. We're designed to evolve, to change. But only when Mother Nature makes us. He smiles briefly. Without saying another word, the old cop pays and gets out of the car. You watch him until he disappears into the hospital. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind. Or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. What? 42-cent tip? You son of a bitch. It's all just words, wasn't it? Abdul would be pissed. Alright, let's see. No more suspects, so we gotta choose somebody. So we got this shady person again, some trucker dude, lady, a dude. Oh, look at this guy. Looks like he might have a lot of money. Or that he wants you to think he does. Let's see. Who should I go with? Let's go with that shady guy. Let's freaking live life on the wild side. What shady? Xavier Trusev. I need to get out of here. It sounds pretty shady. Let's do it. You pull up next to the sidewalk, a few meters from an abandoned warehouse. No sign of your passenger. You wait a minute, staring at the meter. You really don't feel like wasting your time on people who... You hear a window break on the second floor of the warehouse. A body falls heavily to the sidewalk. You lay your hand on the door handle when a man, dressed entirely in black, jumps out of the window and lands on the body. His hand, he stands up and takes a few steps over to your cab. Are you a cab I ordered? You nod your head very, very slowly. Super! I'm the one you're waiting for. Be right there. He turns around, places his fingers on the neck of the inanimate body, takes his pulse. Yeah, right, what the fuck? Comes back over, opens the door, and jumps into the back seat. You can start driving. Newly, please. You follow orders without a second thought. In back, your passenger smells like sweat and gunpowder. He's been running. Been in a fight, maybe. Probably. His muscles bulge in rhythm with his heart, which is racing. With that guy okay? Good evening? How about good evening? I like the question marks thing. It seems like it could be an interesting thing. Pretty good. Yeah. He smiles, or tries to. You can see blood on his otherwise impeccably white teeth. I screwed up a little, but all in all, it was a good evening. You? Yes. I mean, I'm not so sure anymore. I think we should try to keep it cool, right? We don't want to implicate that, you know, because he could kill us too, right? So we'll just go with, yes. Okay, alright. Come on, let's talk about the elephants in the room. You're onto me, and you know it. I'm the masked Joker. Silence. You squint to get a closer look at your passenger. The masked Joker. The hero that makes Parisians' nights more peaceful, no? You slowly shake your head. So he's like a vigilante? Nope, doesn't ring a bell. I'm all over Twitter, so probably on the radio and in the newspapers, I think. And what exactly do you do? I protect people. I'm a guardian. Like a superhero? No, I don't have any superpowers. It's the same idea. Yes, I mean, for the moment I mostly take care of small-time crooks, pickpockets. It's not very prestigious, but you have to start somewhere. You open your mouth, but nothing worth saying comes out. I suppose so. Oh, right, that makes sense. Obviously, you've got to start somewhere. I'll go with you've got to start somewhere. We'll kind of go along with what he's saying here. So, how about the name? You like it? I'm not sure I get it. It's not bad, awful. I'm gonna say I'm not sure I get it. It's a masked Joker. I don't know. Does the Joker exist in their world? Would you want to do that if you're supposed to be a good guy? It's Joker, like the card. The mask and mask because I'm wearing a mask. Silence ensues. Your passenger eventually clears his throat. See, I wanted something that wasn't too... He searches for the right word, beats around the bush, and eventually comes out with problematic. I did a lot of brainstorming and came up with the masked Joker. I haven't gotten great feedback, but it's hard these days to find a name everyone likes. You have to make sacrifices if you want your core business to succeed. That's what they tell us at school, anyway. At school? Yes. And Ian K. He freezes. Shit, I almost gave you the name of my business school. What an idiot. Can you imagine if Bruce Wayne went around telling everyone he was Bruce Wayne? Bruce Wayne? No, Batman. If Batman went around telling everyone he was Bruce Wayne. I'm getting all mixed up. He touches his sides for a while. He looks like he's looking for a wound. You're getting close to your destination. I think I'm hurt. Want me to take you to the hospital? Are you going to be alright? You learn from your mistakes. But you want me to take you to the hospital? No, I'm fine. I shouldn't have jumped out of the window like that. But you were already coming down the street and I didn't want to make you wait. You smile. Pull over, right here in front of the driveway. You obey. Don't worry, it's just a flesh wound. I'll be home in 2 minutes and I'll have everything I need to take care of myself. He pays and struggles to get out of the cab. One last thing, please don't say anything about ENKID. I'm trying to lead a double life and it's not super easy. ENKID? Of course, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, that smiley face makes me want to kind of do that one. ENKID, let's find out a little more, huh? ENKID, I'm business school. He freezes. Oh, I just got it. You're playing along. Okay, great. He looks at you for a minute. You're a real classy guy. He walks away, limping. You watch him as he tries several times to enter his building code before heading inside, finally. As you go to start the engine, you notice a few drops of blood on your fingers. From the bills your passenger handed you. So yeah, what was up with that? Note is the end of the night. Night 2. You now know more about your clients. You think electric cars are good for the environment. You have met Claudia. Charmed Claudia. You have met Santa. So I guess I'll have like more encounters with these people. I guess is kind of what that means, right? At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name, written in thick black marker in the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Bus had promised. You lay them on the table. Take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Got a police report, 2 police reports, and a picture of crime scene 4. The clue. Oh, here we got even more stuff. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, interesting. So that's why I have to hold to investigate, because I only have so much time up here to investigate, so I don't have enough time to look at either of those. Interesting. Okay, look at all this crap we got organized now. Oh. Some more stuff for Claudia. Some of all these over here. Okay, so Claudia, message on crime scene 3 equals time is up. Don't know why that has to do with Claudia. 3 equals... 3, note to have tortured prisoners. I just don't understand why this stuff's connected to Claudia, because we didn't learn any of that from Claudia or anything, right? Because we just like charmed the pants off her. Left message in chalk on first 3 crime scenes. Oh, what's with that? I can toggle them like on and off. Interesting. Okay. God, why does it never work Night Wolf when I want it to? Oh, there it goes. Just super late. You like that? I mean, we did. Am I wrong? Am I right or am I right? Like Santa said. Killer fought with victim 1. Victims killed with 1 bullet in the neck. Death equal execution. Don't know what that's supposed to tell me. No sign of violence. Killer's height is greater than 1 meter. I don't understand. Why do I have this and then this? It's either greater than or less than, but that one's connected to them all. I'm still figuring this out. Killer fought with victim 1. Spent bullet case. Killer knew the victims or researched them. I don't know what toggling them does. Okay. So I don't think there's really much more we can do here. Just kind of looking at everything. We got all this stuff set up, but I don't know how to connect anything. They never really taught me anything. All right, well, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick, guys, and we'll get on to the next night, I guess. 1 sec. Alright, here we go. And don't need more time for those. And end the night. Our next documents. So scroll. Okay, no, that's all the documents. Okay. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. Posted my last painting for a while in the Discord. Okay, yeah, let's check it out. Before we get started, that'd be a perfect time to check that out. Where'd you put that in? Is that in general? Or where'd you post it to? Show and tell. For some reason, it doesn't show that there's a new one there for me, but oh, there it is. Let me bring it up real quick so everybody can see it, even the people who aren't in the Discord. Oh, I gotta reset the transform. Oh yeah, I know we all love Charlotte paintings, hell yeah. Let's see. For some reason it's not. Oh, it is bringing it up. I'm just being a dum-dum. There we go, got it. Right, 1 second, let me frame it up and then I will show it to y'all. And make it bigger. Okay, there we go. And check this out, everybody. Would you look at that? Let's see if I can stretch it a little more even. There we go. Oh, it didn't pop up. There we go. Now you guys should be able to see it. Sorry. You know, a little weird there. I really like it. Is that one, was it that famous dog or whatever? Is that the same dog? No, I wish. I haven't done that one. Oh, okay. You haven't finished that one yet? Okay. Gotcha. That one looks great. I love the colors. I always like seeing where you place what, like which color in it all. I think it's really cool. You made it a little bit bigger. I think maybe that will help a little bit. Pretty cool. Thanks for sharing with us. I'm sorry I haven't contacted you yet about the t-shirt and stuff. We really need to get that figured out, don't we? Been tired too? Okay, yeah, right on. Yeah, we'll get it done, for sure. Oh, it's okay. You shouldn't have cropped. It's all good. I can always zoom it in and everything right here, so it's all good. Yeah, we gotta get some merch for Pete. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if everybody wants it. I know I'd like a shirt with some press start stuff on it, but I'm glad to know that some of you guys are interested in it as well. Yeah, we open the sofa bed, lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Gonna watch the VOD for the parts you missed for your work call. Oh, right on, yeah, for sure. Definitely everybody. I keep everything on YouTube for the VODs, so I got permanent VODs. If you guys ever want to check out any of my streams, they will always be available there, and they are also available on Twitch for the amount of time that they allow. It's like 2 weeks, I think. So, but yeah, they're always there on the YouTube link below the video. You open one eye. You find your studio calming. There's something special about living in a garret, like yours is the last place before the sky starts. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 3. We need to get gas soon. Oh, we got 2 eyeballs. And some suspects. Haven't met these suspects yet. I always go to this eyeball because it's so close. They're just asking for it. Oh yes, absolutely, Stella. You're right. I do need to plan that. The next community night that I wanted to do, I'll just say right now, is I wanted to do a tabletop simulator night. So anybody who has tabletop simulator, I'm gonna try to contact everybody, and I do need to start that. Maybe I'll try to start that tomorrow because I need to get another Storytime Tuesday game boat up as well. So maybe I'll try to handle this stuff tomorrow if I can get myself to do that. But I'd like to try to pick a board game that we can play. Maybe Settlers of Catan. I know that's a really easy one to at least teach people if they want to join and they don't know how to play. Or if we get some more advanced board gamers, maybe we can do something more advanced or something. Because I'd love to play Root. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Root. But Root is a very fun, very complex, asymmetrical game. That's pretty fun, but it would take a long time to explain, so that's why Settlers of Catan might be a better one. Whatever. Down to learn, Stella? Right on. Yeah, we might be able to figure out some stuff. I would like to make it accessible to everyone as much as possible, but I've tried the streaming it so that people on Parsec, so people can play through my computer. I might try to experiment with that some more. But yeah, I'll just have to try to get a list of how many people have Tabletop Sim. I'm hoping we at least have a few people. I know that Moth and Lemur have it, and I know Vince has it, but I mean, I really want as many people in the community as possible. So hopefully if any of you guys have it. I think Nightwolf, you said you had it as well. Yeah, Ticket to Ride. Yeah, Ticket to Ride and Settlers of Catan are the two that I feel like are really good starter games if you haven't really played board games other than the real popular ones like Sorry or Life or something. Yeah, you have it too, Nightwolf. Okay, so there's already a pretty good group of people. We could probably get a full game there if we wanted to out of that group of people, but we'll see. We'll see who's available, who has it, and whoever does, we'll try to get that to work because I think it'd be cool to do a board game night or whatever. So, is it a software download or is it web-based? It's on Steam. Yeah, it's a game on Steam because it's a full engine simulator. It's literally it just simulates a tabletop, and so you just spawn cards and game pieces, and you can play any tabletop game on Tabletop Simulator. It's pretty cool. But one thing I have thought about for Stella, for maybe someone in your situation, is if I can figure out a good game on Tabletopia, because Tabletopia is a free, I believe it's free, app on the Android store, and it's a game on Steam, and it does a very similar thing, but they don't have as many game selections because they don't have a Steam workshop. It's more like a commercial type of deal, but it would be more accessible to more people. But yeah. Does it allow crossplay? I don't think there is crossplay in Tabletop Sim because I think it's only PC. But I'm not sure on that, to be honest, because it's been a while since I've really looked into what everything is capable of. I just only play with people who are on PC. But if it's come to consoles, that would be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, if you find that it's on a console or that you have something that's available to use it, Stella, let me know. I'd be interested to at least try it out, if we have to give it a shot. Not that it's only good for work and can't download not approved software. Yeah, I know what you mean, Stella. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to just kind of cycle through things that everybody is available to do. That's why I'm not always gonna do Tabletop Sim, because I want to make sure that we can play games that you have available to you as well on those days. Because I think maybe we're gonna go for Jackbox again after this week, after this community day. I think it might be good to go back to Jackbox. It's been a while. Everybody can play on that one, and now that Glimish is much smoother, I think Jackbox is gonna be awesome this time. So I think that'll be cool to do another Jackbox night soon. So yeah, don't worry. As long as yeah, because really with the community days, I'm going to try to start branching out on that stuff and just try to find games that people in our community want to play with me or with other people in our community, and maybe we can just get a squad, even if it's just a 4-player game one week. If I can get enough community members, to hang out, have a good time, then that's I'm going to try to turn it into, because we don't always have a bunch of people who want to play one game. So, but we usually can find a couple of people that want to play a game. You know what I mean? Yeah, Uno is another really good one, Stella. Yeah, because Uno has a good app that I think everybody could connect on that's crossplay and everything. Because I'm sure I could figure out how to bring an Android app up. I can just use an Android app simulator or something. So we could definitely do something like the Uno Android app or something. It's not just Android. I think it's iOS and Android, but that could be cool too. Draw.io is a good one I think I mentioned before. Yeah, I do have that one on my list of possible games as well too, or Scribble.io. Yeah, that's basically Pictionary, right? The one you're talking about. Yeah, that one could be cool. I'd like to get some of those ones, like if we can get a multiple, because I think there's a couple of games that are like that are web-based ones like that. And maybe we could just do a night of those sometime. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for mentioning the community night stuff. And that is kind of what I got planned. So yeah, if there's anybody else who has tabletop sim, let me know right here in the chat, or say something in Discord, so I can definitely make sure that I hit you up and when we get this all set up. Draw.io is for drawing UML diagrams. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not really what we're looking for, is it? Yeah, Scribble.io is that's probably right. All right, let's go to this first eyeball. From outside, the Montparnasse gun store looks like any other shop. A plain, discreet front window, sliding doors. But inside, they sell handguns, machine guns, knives, and even grenades. Getting your first dose tomorrow? Nice, Tyler. That's awesome, man. I'm getting mine on Thursday. I finally scheduled that, so getting our doses this week, brother. Hopefully, we won't get sick. But we'll see. Yeah, so Thursday, guys, I guess maybe I should just go give you guys a heads up now. Plan is play Red Dead 2, and hopefully I'm feeling up for it. Get my first shot that day. So hell yeah, man. It's your first time here, but you've already had its owner in your cab. Oh yeah, absolutely, Tyler. If you're gonna do any like trips, yeah, definitely get that done as soon as possible for sure. Yeah, I agree. May have a reaction, but think help me was drinking a lot of water. Yeah, definitely stay hydrated for sure. Definitely. Yeah. So thanks, I hope. Yeah, that's why I want to give you guys a heads up, though. You know, give you guys as much of a heads up as possible. But might not have it, but we'll see. As you walk up to the counter, you hear the distant noise of gunshots under your feet. It's an unsettling experience. Madame Brochant, can I help you? It's the owner speaking, an older woman with a hunched back. She's been selling weapons since the 70s. She's cheeky in a typical Persian way, and her wrinkles carve craters across her face. Ah, it's you. It's been ages. Come closer. You make small talk and eventually decide to go for it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm hoping I feel fine too, because I mean, on top of just wanting to stream, I want to play some more Red Dead, dude. I'm pretty excited for some Red Dead, so I'm really hoping I'm feeling up for it. Hopefully it'll be a way to just like relax or whatever, you know, because it's not like I don't have a good time and I can't just, you know, chill out while I'm here with you guys. So hopefully it'll be good either way. I have a question for you about a weapon. You slide the photo of the shell across the counter. She looks slowly up at you. Okay, so this is kind of what the evidence unlocks, is these encounters. Where's this photo from? She's been doing this for years, and you doubt you can pull one over on her. Photographer friend, I took it. The cops, I found it on the ground. The question marks here make it a little sus. And I think it's an obvious lie, right? Found it on the ground. Photographer friend. I'll say a photographer friend. That seems the most incognito. Neato. Make it sleepy, so plan to chill. I pass out. Yeah, maybe it'll just end up having to be a short stream. Hopefully I'll also be able to do a stream, and maybe I'll just go to sleep early that night too, or something like that. I'll just try to keep it so like just the 2 hours or something. Take much G fuel. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's pretty much water, right? With powder in it. I'll do a photographer friend. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here. Recoil at the bitterness in her voice. Listen, I'm just looking for more information about the show. I don't talk to filthy liars like you. Get out. Damn. She points to the door. The police gave it to me. Yeah, just how did you end up with the police photos? I'm helping them out. I'm a cop now. I'm a private investigator now. I'm helping them out. You know perfectly well this lady never smiles, but something on her face shifts ever so slightly into what might be construed as a small grin. I'm not surprised. You were always the type to want to help people out. Wow, she really flipped there. She practically rips the photo out of your hands. You give her as many details as you can. She thinks for a while. The shop doors open and a woman, probably a cop from her appearance, comes in, greets the owner, and disappears downstairs. When she opens the door, it creaks and a small gunpowder the smell of gunpowder spreads through the shop. It's funny. This doesn't fit with what you told me. The shell is in perfect shape, and you told me the bullets are also completely clean. But it's old ammo. You can tell. There are no scratches, but there are a few oxidation stains, and her voice grows darker all of a sudden, like something had escaped from her. In my opinion, it's from an old weapon, perfectly maintained, by someone who knew what they were doing. In light of what you told me, I'd say it belonged to a cop or a soldier. It could be a family weapon. It was a police service weapon of the 1970s. Either a cop held onto it or a guy you're looking for inherited it. Okay, so there was that cop guy we had to talk to, right? The one that was looking out the window? He was a cop in the 70s, right? That judge there, he's a pro. You raise your head to meet her gaze. Her old bones make that slight shift again, the one that could be construed as a smile. Or she, actually. You know, lots of women shoot, and I give classes if you have any lady friends who are interested. Back in your cab. You glance back at the shop, but you know how this woman knew that. But you don't know how this woman knew that. Anyway, you start your taxi. You have what you need to move forward with your investigation. And a coupon for a class on shooting automatic weapons. Alright, let's check out this one. Maybe then we'll get some gas. Yeah, sweet coupon, dude. Cash that one in. You park your taxi across the stadium, just a few meters from a two-story building. It's an odd brick place that clashes with the huge concrete behemoth that is Chartley Stadium. You get out of the car and walk to the front door. You knock. You wait a few minutes. Lights come on, and the door finally opens. Macro appears. Or Marco, my bad. There's that dyslexia again. Marco is a former taxi driver. A strange guy. A bit spacey and different. He's been working at the stadium for a few years now. Well, shit, you're still alive? That's Marco. You like it. I mean, wow, so nice to see you. Even though he stole your wife. Come in, come in. You want something to drink? Oh, right, you stopped drinking. Cup of coffee? Yes, please. You follow him into the caretaker's room. It's pretty nice despite the mess and filth. I don't know if I'm getting used to the sour stuff, but I've been eating warheads and toxic waste. They're just not doing anything right now. Oh, yeah, really? Is your Chapman torturing you, Tyler? You're just completely destroying your taste buds from all the sour stuff, dude. So is the toxic waste like even more sour than warheads? I don't think I've ever had toxic waste, but I can only imagine it being like just like pure fucking sour powder. Rachel just bought me a shitload of sour candy. Oh, nice, dude. I do love me some sour candy, but you can't eat too many in a row. That shit, it's like attacking you. It's meant to be worse. You can't taste the difference or something. Kidding, Ty? That's crazy. You couldn't pay me to eat that. Oh, really? I'm a huge wimp with sour candy. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love sour candy. I can definitely take quite a bit, too. It's pretty good. I just like sour stuff in general. The G Fuel I get is the sour flavor. And it doesn't taste sour to me at all, but it definitely tastes sweeter, which is why I like it. I burnt my tongue on sour candy. I love it. Yeah, I've definitely done that before, too. It's been pretty bad. That's why you can't eat too many, man. I'd rather eat spicy chocolate. Yeah, see, I'd be a wimp there, Stella. See, I'm a wimp when it comes to spicy stuff. As soon as spice hits my tongue, I'm just like, I can't taste anything anymore. It's just pain. This is the rest of the meal. Even if it's like mild spiciness, it gets me pretty easy. Yeah, spicy chocolate goes hard. Nice. He serves you a cup of coffee and sits down at the table. You follow suit. The only noise in the room is the TV behind Marco. Before you came by, he was playing a soccer video game. The fans are singing and clapping their hands. So, what have you been up to? got some questions for you. He shakes his head. No, not yet, man. Seriously, no. Last time I helped you out, I lost my job. So the answer is no. You have no choice and you know it. You owe me this much. Marco drops his head between his shoulders, starts to beg. I'm telling you, man, I love this job. It's so easy. I get to take care of a stadium that's empty 75% of the time. He sits up roughly in his chair. Behind him, on the screen, the stadium is going wild. I need information on Ronan Besson. Bit my cheek earlier. Oh no, the sour candy did make me feel that. Oh man. Yeah, I hate when that stuff happens, dude. It's so crazy because it's like you can only be mad at like yourself, I guess, in a way, you know, because you're the one that did it and you're in pain now, and it's just like, ah, damn it, it's so frustrating. There's a Russian roulette chocolate set where one of the chocolates has a habanero in it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm good without that. Now that's fucked up. I wouldn't want to do that. I need information on Ronan Besson. He straightens up. Ronan? The coach that got killed by Judge? The very one. He was a great guy. Everyone torn up about it. Spit it out, thanks. Drink your coffee. I got the little devil face here. But let's just drink my coffee. We'll be real subtle about it. I hate it when you do that sort of thing. Seriously, it freaks me out. He pops a sigh. This is going to get back to me somehow. There were rumors. Some parents heard he was a little too hands-on with his kids in a while back, if you get my drift, but no one ever looked into it. Was it true? I don't know, nothing. He sighs. A few months ago, Rona cornered a kid, like, by the showers. You know what I mean? Kid stabbed him in the thigh with a pair of scissors and ran away. The kid's parents weren't sure whether they'd file a complaint. The club director brought Ronan in and bam, 2 days later, he was murdered. Who else knows this? About the kid? No one, I think. Well, maybe some other parents? Dunno. You get up. And one last thing. Give him the names of your suspects, give him the name of the victims. Probably victims, right? Suspects would be too much, but victims would probably be, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Too much spice in a while, but back when I was training myself to handle spice, I would eat raw peppers. Formed a psychological link between the flavor and pain, and now I feel sick whenever I eat a pepper. Oh, jeez. So you were trying to get yourself to be able to handle it, and it just made you sick? Like, it just made it like a different association? Is that how I got that? I love hot sauce, yeah. Man, I wish I could like hot sauce, man. It seems like it's a lot of fun when everybody, like, uses it. They love to, like, dump a bunch on there, but man, I'm just so sensitive. Like, even with just, like, super flavorful stuff too, I think I just like don't need it. That's why I'm not a big sauce guy in general. I'll eat like just the plain meats or just the nuggets or whatever by itself, because I just like the subtle flavors of that, you know. I just got one of those bland mouths, I guess, you know, like I just can't be too, or I'm just easily overwhelmed by flavors and sensory experiences. But apparently sour is the only one I like. It's definitely a strong experience, but I like that one. Taking like million Scoville stuff, but now the taste just ain't it for me. Yeah, see, that's like for me, when I eat anything spicy, there is no taste. Like, when people say that things have flavor that are spicy or whatever, but for me, it's like it's so intense that I just can't taste anything for like the next 30 minutes. And that's why I just try to stay away from it as much as possible, because I just want to be able to taste my meal, you know. And I don't really care to like build up this like flavor for it or whatever, I guess. I wish I could like it, but you know. I think we all just kind of go with what's easy for us to eat and what we enjoy eating, right? I don't think anybody like tortures themselves to like things. I did hot one sauce once. That was rough. Dude, yeah, I bet. I can't imagine. Everybody says that one's actually got good flavor for being how hot it is, though. At least like when you watch like some of the chefs that have eaten it. I think Gordon Ramsay was on there once and said it was really good. You list the victims. He doesn't react until you mention Charles Borgen. Oh yeah, him. I know him. I mean, everybody knows him. Right-wing extremist son of a bitch. Hold on. What are you doing these days? I can't say. Marco sits up. Damn it, I'm gonna get fired. Easy. His voice speeds up. Don't tell anyone where you got this information, okay? Time will tell. Don't worry. Sip your coffee in silence. I'm gonna say don't worry. Yeah, I heard that before. A vuvuzela noise comes from the TV. Okay, I gotta run. He walks to the door, mumbling with clenched teeth. Every time I run into you, you jinx me. Every single time. You walk outside and over to the taxi. Door, key, motor purring, you go back to work. Now my suspect's gone. Guess we can get some gas, right? Yeah, we're pretty low on gas. Let's go ahead and hit up a gas station, see what that's like. Maybe it just jumps forward in time or something. You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. There's a self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there, it must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple questions. The place makes you nervous. All you want to do is get back into your warm cab. Gotta fill the tank for sure. So we'll go ahead and get that done first, right? Fill it up. Fill it up. There we go, and jump. Behind the counter, a student doing his homework lazily raises his head. And a few hot one sauces. Oh yeah? Which ones? Because they have more than one sauce that's branded for theirs? I've only known about like I guess the one I was thinking we were talking about earlier was the one that they made. Like super hot one. I think it's the one, the last stab or whatever. I think it's the one they call it or whatever. Yeah, I knew somebody at work that I know. They tried to do like a party where they had a bunch of people go through all the sauces. They went through and bought every sauce they used on the show and did their own little thing. It sounded pretty crazy to me. Well, sauces they featured on the show, not of their own brand. Gotcha, cool. It's kind of like what this guy had done. Still not as hot as me. Ah, yeah, Charlie, there you go. It's that confidence. Yeah, they have a lot. Yeah, right? It was a Hot Ones party. I think it's a party you were talking about, Dom. Yeah, it was a Hot Ones party. Yeah. God, what's his Twitch name? McDumbass, right? That's his Twitch name. If you just want to name who we're talking about, McDumbass did it. He hasn't been around in a while. But I haven't heard from him in a while because we're not going into work. I guess I never had to work with him. I had Domm. Oh yeah, that was one of the really hardcore ones, wasn't it? Beyond Insanity, Mad Dog 357, and Blair's Ultra Death. All of those sound deadly to me. Yes. That was the kid behind the counter. If that was random for anybody. We got the newspaper. I don't even know how to say that French word. Joyeuse. Soiree. I can't. I don't know. Cash. There's Silas. This is like a postcard, some advertisement. And like a scratch, or are these all three scratchers? I think they're all scratchers. It's a good newspaper. I think that's what we came here for. I was wondering. You immediately bring up the serial killer. The cashier looks up, obviously excited by the topic. Mad Dog is nuts. So yeah, Blair was 1 mil Scoville units, but Mad Dog hurt more and also tasted better. Yeah. It's so interesting to me. It's like I'm almost like interested to try it just because I want to see if I can even taste it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like just mild stuff ruins flavors for me, so it'd be interesting. No, what? I thought I was talking to the kid. Okay, I thought I was going to say something. Have a good evening. The cold welcomes you outside and quickly makes you forget the clerk's unpleasant tone. Huh, that's weird. I thought I was going to have me question the clerk, but we didn't really talk to him very much. No, let's get out of here. Yeah, right, Charlotte? Yeah, it's just so overwhelming. It sucks because we don't get to enjoy the subtle flavors of the sauce, you know? Or even, like, what the pepper tastes like. Like, I can't even tell. I can't get past the spice. It sucks. Certainly not something any of us who are sensitive to spice will want to be happening, right? Just for, like, anybody out there who thinks that. It's like, it's not like we want it to be that way. It just is that way. Who we picking up? We got this angry right-wing dude or whatever. I don't really recognize anybody else. Could meet somebody new, like this trucker hat guy. Big old mustache. This lady, haven't seen her before, or her. Let's go somebody close. Let's try a repeat with somebody. We haven't had a repeat yet, so let's try this guy again. Mad Dog was almost citrusy in your opinion? Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I missed that chat before. The first time I ever watched my dad eat a spicy Asian mustard and like sweat. Yeah, right. I still don't understand. Right, like the sweating thing's pretty crazy as well. Like it seems very uncomfortable to me. I know that Vince likes spicy stuff that makes him sweat. He's definitely talked about. I've watched him like eat spicy soup and just sit there and sweat. And it's like, damn, dude. Like I hate sweating, so like I wouldn't do that, you know. Like, if I start to get, like, hot when I'm eating just because I'm eating hot food or whatever, it's starting to raise my body temperature. I have these little fans on my desk that I use if I'm eating at my desk just to try to cool myself down because I just don't want to sweat. It sucks. Any more hot chicks that want to RP? Yeah, Claudia's not out here. She's one of our suspects, the RP lady. Is that what you're saying? What about Tyler? Yeah, we had a character who convinced us to RP, like, a dating scene with her. Alright, let's go to this dude. This writer guy. Like a columnist or something, isn't he? Francois. The passenger getting into your taxi is the famous polemicist, Francois Delanier, who you've driven home before. He doesn't seem to recognize you. Actually, he barely looks at you. You start driving. Are you bothered by all these protest marches? His questions wash over you. You forgot that during the day, people were holding protests. I work nights. Nah. He doesn't know how to follow up. A moment goes by before he yelps. Ah, see? There's not much chance they'd come to protest at 3 a.m., eh? It's not really surprising, actually. They want to make change, but only when it's convenient. Not during vacations, not on weekends, not at night. They make fun of us in other countries. France, the land of strikes, land of protest marches. This country is filled with jackasses, slackers, and simpletons. I know what you mean. They protest nonetheless, say nothing. I feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like I would just say nothing here, you know? Just like, I mean, he's my customer, so I'm just going to let him go on his little rant or whatever, as long as he pays me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Talking on simpletons. I'm a simpleton. What's wrong with that? Yeah, right? Let's say nothing. Take the United States, for example. They have no right to strike. It's do or die. Spit flies from his mouth and disappears somewhere in the back seat. And they didn't become the most powerful country in the world by going on strike all the time. He snickers. His notebook appears in his hand and he begins to write. Strike. Protest. Unrest. While businessmen and manufacturers are working around the clock. French people should be ashamed. Take a look in the mirror and decide to change. Do something. They expect too much from life. They want to have their cake and eat it too. And bite off more than they can chew. He catches his breath. Froth begins to form in the corners of his mouth. And meanwhile, the world keeps turning. While the strikers twiddle their thumbs, workers are working. No, struggling to get the job done. That's better. Idiotic protest marches. The Frenchest thing, and the stupidest. We have to look the masses in the eye and say, you do not own the streets. You shall not wield them like weapons. He suddenly raises his eyes and looks at you. They are unfocused, and his complexion deathly pale. You know what the heck? Your passenger's gaze wanders somewhere beyond the windshield. I just remember that. I once marched. It came back to me while I was an old childhood memory. I can see it clearly from Versailles to Paris. I can picture the banners, the songs, and the people's faces. There were so many of us. We got up at dawn, thousands of us, and we marched towards the capital. Our pure and wholesome voices rose up. And his voice shakes a bit. See, it's like pure and wholesome when he's doing it, right? Isn't that like funny how that's like the perspective that some of these people who think like this have? It's like, oh, but when I do it, it's great. But when you do it, it's just annoying and you should stop and you're an idiot. And I don't have to explain that to you, apparently. What were you marching for? I could have like turned that on him with that other selection, but I'd rather like try to like slowly bring people into, you know. There was a cry from the heart of the right of the high-quality religious education, while France was being crushed by the weight of socialism. Oh, thank you. That's how you pronounce it, Versailles. Okay, thanks. I'll try to remember that. I can't promise, but I'm assuming that's what you're saying, right? Versailles equals what that word is. You don't say the L's, I guess, huh? We were being ideologically purged, completely disseminated. It was the end of hierarchical schools. The end of our culture as we knew it. His voice trembles. Did you win? Yes, we won. So protesting is okay then. His forehead pitches forward as if his head were too heavy. We weren't being heard. We weren't being respected. Perhaps you're right. A single finger interrupts the conversation. But we didn't go on strike. We didn't bother anyone with our banners and our gatherings. And yet, we still won. He sighs contentedly as you pull the taxi along the sidewalk. Those were the days. It was a great time. The left was running the country. He leans in towards you, like he's about to tell you a secret with a smirk on his face. And I mean, the real left. Eh? What? I don't know what he means by that. Yeah, that is the only French pronunciation I know. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. I definitely want to pronounce these things correctly, but I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I try to use what I know of phonetics, but I also don't try to spend too much time on stuff because I don't need to like stop the whole stream just so I can fucking sound something out, you know. But yeah, I appreciate any like help like that for sure. That's words. Versailles is definitely gonna come up again. Yeah, he pays and gets out of the car. You can hear him talking to himself, and he walks towards the front door of his building. What a lovely night. Good luck to you tomorrow, and with all these protest marches, it's going to be a messy one. He's gone before you have time to remind him you only work nights. You notice the newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind. Or was it the one before? You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You start driving. So I didn't need to buy the newspaper before because he just kind of gave me that one. And no tip. What a bastard. We got a suspect over here. Oh man, I had a suspect. I hope this doesn't skip over the suspect. That old man concerns me. Yeah, I know, me too. But at least we kind of like, in a way, helped him realize that like maybe he needs to rethink the whole like protesting thing, because he's like definitely like getting like tunnel visioned on into just like the fact that he's pissed off about something else. I feel like. You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. It's a photo of a French soccer team who just won a match against a team from, you mean football? Aren't we in France? I'm pretty sure they call it football. Yeah, I might be wrong. You just won a match against the team from Vanuatu. Probably screwing that one up too. You have no idea where Vanuatu is. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Keep reading? You stop reading and go back to a few pages. You thought you saw something. A badly framed photo in a Tars article inform you that a minister is stepping down for personal reasons. She will be replaced by her right-hand man, who also happens to be her husband. Her face is not at all familiar. You don't think you've ever seen her before. You only have a third left to read. Nah, let's read the whole thing. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at it. A little mistake there, right? You instinct tells you. Womp womp. It's just a few lines. A funny anecdote. A man disguised as Santa Claus had to be taken off the roof of a building by firemen. I think we know who that is. He was highly inebriated and stated he did not know how he had gotten there. You shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. Ah, man, I think we skipped over that suspect then. Come on, we were only reading the paper for a second. Dang it, there's a guy right there that was blinking. And now we don't have a suspect. Alright, time to meet somebody new. How about this gal? In front of the door to a restaurant, a woman in a fancy suit is handing little pink envelopes to guys. Oh, well, what was that all about? I think 2 times it's done that. Like while I'm writing, I see something, I guess. Kind of interesting. Oh, you know, I didn't notice this before, but I think this is up here in the top right corner is telling me how long this trip's gonna take. That's kind of interesting. I didn't notice that before. Francine Gaillard. I need to talk to you. To me? The passenger who gets into the cab greets you in uncertain tones. Good evening. You try to answer as warmly as possible. Good evening. Good evening. I want to... She stops short, trembling as if in panic. Is everything alright? No, it's not. She begins pouring her heart out. A flood of sorrow fills the cab. I've lost my cat. She shakes her head as if chasing a bad dream. I know, it's pretty silly. It's pathetic. But I lost my cat. She holds up a poster of the missing animal. His name is Kronky. Krauky. It's the cat from the other night. You're sure of it. It's the cat! I came back to the cat, right? I happened to pick the girl who lost the cat. Listen, I know it's going to sound crazy, but someone saw my cat get into a cab. So I called your company and asked about taxis where in the neighborhood the night he disappeared. You were the only one. I need your help. Her tone is increasingly hesitant and insecure. Please tell me. You know where he is. Where is Kronky? Where is my cat? She takes a deep breath. It's a question of life and death. I saw him. She sits up straight with a jerk. That's wonderful. Where is he? Take me there. Do I lie for the cat? Because the cat said that she was overbearing. She was overly affectionate. And it was like a euphemism, I think, for like abusive or something. I'm not really 100% sure. I don't know, do you guys feel either way? Should we tell her the truth, or should we protect the cat and lie? I don't know if taking the train is really going to help her out that much, but I don't know. Anybody got any opinions on that? But will that cat help us later? I don't know. Certainly wouldn't if we got him caught again. So I've told her that I did see the cat, so I told the truth. Maybe we can follow that truth up with a small lie to help the cat now. We helped her out, now we'll help the cat out. Gladys like cats. I have no idea where he is. It was just pretty true. She looks at you, suspiciously. Did you drive him somewhere? I started the cab, but he must have jumped out at some point. Did you talk to him? You remain quiet. Live for the cat, Stella. Yeah, there you go, Stella. Yeah, that cat is special, for sure. I'm sure you talked to him. Crocky's not just any old cat, you know. He saved my life. I adopted him when he was still a tiny kitten. I took care of him, spoiled him, fed him for weeks. I took time off work to take care of the little thing. I knew right away he wasn't like other cats. He was different. I stood up for him, too. When my friends said he was taking up too much room in my life, I dropped them. When they told me he couldn't come with me to work anymore, I changed companies. He's the only reason I get out of bed in the morning. And then one night, he disappeared. I thought he was in the basket as usual, but it was a stuffed animal. I looked everywhere for him, in the building, the housing complex, the entire neighborhood. He'd vanished into thin air. So when the homeless guy at the foot of the building said he saw a cat, that he saw him get into your cab, I believed him. Maybe he really did, I thought. She takes a deep breath. Kuroki is unique. Kuroki could have done it. Figured out a way of getting you to take him somewhere. She stares at you. I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you know where my cat is? And we're gonna lie again, right? Lying for the cat? Here we go. No, I don't. I haven't seen any cat. Her searching gaze holds your eye for a long moment. I'm sorry. She appears dejected and sad all of a sudden. She nods towards the passenger window. I think I need a little air. Could you stop the car, please? You pull over to the sidewalk. Thank you. She lowers her gaze. I know I was a little too much for him. Might have been a little suffocating, but he was everything to me. And nobody seems to understand. Nobody. Yeah, it's not healthy. It's only a cat. You need to move on. I'm gonna say that's not healthy. Let's give her a little dose of reality here. She looks you straight in the eye. What do you mean? To love someone so much you lock them up. You suffocate them. It's not healthy. For a cat, for a man, for a woman. She says nothing. You can hear her struggling to catch her breath. Thank you. I think I needed to hear that. I'm going crazy. Her voice drops to a whisper. Crazy. She opens the car door and hands you a banknote at the same time. I need to be alone. She gets out of the cab and walks away without shutting the door. The next minute she's gone, swallowed up by the night. You get out and close the door. You take a deep breath. Your lungs freeze. You wait another minute to get back inside and start the engine. That was interesting. I like how we got to follow up with the cat. I'm glad the cat came back out. That's cool. Alright, any suspects? Nope. No repeats either, so we're going to get somebody new. So we'll go somebody nearby, save on that gas. How about this guy? This guy looks like he could be dangerous. Or he could just be a regular dude. Yeah, oh yeah, she definitely needed that. She needed someone to give her a little reality check. I missed the last train. I'm going to St. Owen. Oh, it looks like that's going to take the rest of this night. It looks like. I think that's what that means up there. I'm going to interpret that way. Except, you pull up to the sidewalk to pick up the passenger who ordered a cab. You can just make him out, surrounded by 5 or 6 cops. An all too familiar scene. Every so often, the low, ominous tones of the officer's voice makes it to your ear. I love my dog so much I struggled to find a new purpose when she died. My dog had many health problems, so I can relate a little. I can definitely, yeah, I know what you mean for sure. Like losing her cat, I totally understand. Yeah, I think she just needed to learn the lesson about being overly like affectionate or whatever. You know what I mean? Hopefully, like so that she can have a good like personal relationships with people. You know, not even just having like better relationships with her pets, but with other people as well. I mean, she like ditched all of her friends just so that she could smother her cat. Like, damn, dude. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So definitely, there's a way, a little bit you can relate to there. Just like by losing a friend like that, something you cared about so much. The circular cops breaks up. You see your passenger. He heads over to the cab and gets in. He slams the door and lets rip. Motherfucking cops. He gives you his address and you start the car. Passenger stares out the window in the passing road as if to calm himself. You take a quick look in the rearview mirror. Everything alright? Say nothing. What was all that all about? I don't need to really be nosy. Everything alright might be a pleasant way of getting him to talk about it. Yeah, sure. They're afraid to lay a finger on us. They're afraid to lay a finger on us nowadays. Don't want to get blown up. An ironic half smile appears on his face, then immediately disappears. He knows a bad joke when he hears one. What a fucking pain in the ass. Can't go out without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of a bitches. If you're not wearing a goddamn beret, if you happen to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you're a fucking hood. He smirks wryly, then raises his voice an octave. Your papers, please. He sighs, his voice back to normal. Yeah, sure. Shove your aunt's cock up your friggin' ass, buddy. Always the same old thing, isn't it? Let's go with him. Passenger looks at you and lets out a bitter laugh. You can say that again. Even the Arabs treat us like shit when we're wearing a uniform. A slow smile spreads over his face. And you know what's worse? He pulls a paperback out of his back jacket pocket. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. They wouldn't believe it was my book. He returns it to his pocket right away. Pretty good story. For a second, you wonder if you imagined it. The first thing they asked me was where I had stolen it. You know, like there was no way I could own a book. Then the bastards took a book and flipped through it, every single page, to make sure it wasn't hiding anything, like hash or some shit. He flinches, something in his features breaks, a crack has appeared. He's trying not to show it, but you see what's going on. You can't help it. The inner struggle. The humiliation. The sense of shame. It's just a book. Do you like it? He looks up. Yeah, it's kind of like a revenge story, like all the Hollywood movies we download so we don't have to pay for a ticket. Except that it takes place 200 years ago. And yeah, it's good. It really sucks what happens to the hero guy, and he spends the whole book planning his revenge big time. The guy's pretty messed up. He catches your eye in the rearview mirror. He realizes he's not all worked up anymore. It's my girlfriend who gave it to me. What else does she recommend? She likes Dumas. Smile. How about she likes Dumas? Yeah, I think so. She's into all that historical stuff. Cater. To me, it was a real drag at first, but let's out a sigh. Oh, okay, that was weird. It did his like voice, but like in a narration thing. There was another little bug there. I'm finding all these little formatting errors or whatever. That was interesting. She forced me a little, and then I realized that Monte Cristo is one of us. I mean, his story. It's a lot like what goes on today. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are these texts, rap lyrics that she really likes. You should see her, putting on a show and all. But the truth is, she actually likes it. It's the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want to try it. And that was it, man. I was on my way. He looks down. But it's pretty crazy, even so. I'm actually reading a book. I still can't believe it. The book and my girlfriend. His eyes sparkle. Some chicks really change your life, don't they? You nod your head slowly. You pull up at the address given by your fare. He lets out a sigh. You know, man, I don't know why the hell I just told you all that. No worries. It must be a real bummer, all these guys telling you their life stories. The passenger passes you the money for the ride. I have to go. I'll punch in early tomorrow. He pauses, eyeing the time on the radio's LCD display. Or later on, I should say. A moment later, he vanishes into the night. That's a nice little story. Glad we could calm him down, you know, that's cool. I have a tiny bit of time left, but that's not enough time to do anything, right? Don't have any more suspects about either. So I guess go click on somebody and then it'll probably be daytime. My shift will be over. Yep, there's my shift. Okay. Night 3. You know more about your clients. You have met Francine. Yeah, not all street thugs. Absolutely. You did not tell Francine the truth about her cat. You have met Kadir. Got lost money because of that. Kadir taught you a very colorful insult. Kadir told you he was reading the Count of Monte Cristo. Did I even talk to a suspect today? I don't think I even got around to one because I missed that one. Damn it. Take a few minutes to update your board with the new clues. How did you lose money? Well, there was a couple things that were like the company take and stuff that happened in there. And I know I bought a newspaper, so maybe that didn't count up until the end. And I bought gas. So I don't know if the gas and the newspaper didn't count until the end, maybe. But one of them was just like the company's take from what I made tonight. Alright, let's take a look at these clues, and then I'll probably call the stream for the night. It said, like, the play through this game, it's about 4 hours, but I wonder if it's, like, 4 hours per, like, case, like, per murder, because there was 3 of them that were available. So, might be able to get 6 weeks out of this, possibly. That could be cool. But yeah, I'll probably end up calling tonight after we get done looking at these clues, see if we can get anything further here. Both can take the same amount of time. Let's go ahead and just get them both done. Alright, what new things do we have here? Weapon kept in the perfect shape by a professional. It's both of these guys. Weapon equal rare gun used in the 70s, right? Yeah, I thought that kind of implicated him a little bit. Police gun in the 70s, yep. That's some pretty hard evidence against this guy. And then weapon kept in perfect condition. That also seems kind of like something an old school cop might do. I don't know who this is yet. We haven't met him or him or him. We've only met these two, I think. Oh, here's some new ones. Victim 2 killed in only spot without CCTV. Killer fought with victim 3. Bullet in the neck. Killer left message. Shotgun 3 crime scenes. Okay, first reconnaissance. Search them. Spent bullet case. I didn't learn anything else about spent bullet case. We knew. Well, I guess it's kind of connected to these things, right? So I don't know what I do with this now. Maybe I gray it out because we researched it a little bit. Oh, we got something else here now. Victim 1 equal molester never arrested. Yeah, we learned that from our friend. Okay, so we did learn a little bit, right? Because we went to those 2 eyeball things. I forgot about that. I've been doing side stories, it seems to. Yeah, right? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of side stuff for sure. I wonder how some of these are really going to add in there. Maybe there's kind of red herrings a little bit. Like death equal execution. I don't understand what that's going to do for me at all. Source. Just noticing this different sources. I from the gas station I learned the killer's height? That's weird. 2 stolen wallet. Yeah, I still feel like I just don't have enough info. We need to get some more of these suspects questioned. Thumbs up on this game choice. Cool. Yeah, you guys enjoying this so far? I really like it. I'm definitely excited to continue it next week. Interesting cats and just enough weird, right? Yeah, right? It's pretty cool. I like that it's almost like a book, you know, you get to read a lot of it, and it's pretty well written so far, I think, so. What is, oh, that's at night, okay. So, yeah. I guess it must auto-save. Yeah, I bet it does. Okay. Well, I guess this is where we'll be next week, huh? Let me flip over to the ending screen here. Cool. Yeah, so for tomorrow, I'm gonna try to start planning out what game we're gonna play for on Tabletop Sim for Community Day, and I'm gonna try to get the next poll for the next Storytime Tuesday game going, which might not be for a while. I don't know if I'll be able to put an expected date on there this time, but I'll at least try to get the vote up so we can get a good amount of time to vote on it. So that'd be cool. Other than that, what do we got next week? I believe we are gonna be able to do Raft. I think I just need to talk to Moth. I think Lemur said he was down for it, so as long as Moth can, we'll be doing Raft tomorrow. If not, Pokemon Snap. Then Thursday, Red Dead 2, hopefully, if I don't feel too sick from my first dose of the vaccine. And then on Friday, Nier Replicant. We'll be doing part 2 of that. So, yeah, there we go. Well, you're very welcome, Nightwolf, of course. You know, hearing these people's stories, yeah, me too, right? I feel like it's really well written. It's been pretty cool. Excited for Red Dead? Hell yeah. I played a little bit more on Sunday, Charlotte. I don't know if you got to check out any of that, but if you're interested, you can always check out the VOD. Just did like a train robbery, I think was the most exciting thing I ended up doing, but yeah, it's always a good time with Red Dead, right? You sending good vibes and healing thoughts on Thursday? Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. Thank you so much, so. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and yeah, thanks for picking this game, because this game is great so far, so. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Raft, I hope, and if not, Pokemon Snap. Either way, gonna be a good time. So yeah, be right here, same time, same place tomorrow. And we'll see you guys. Have a good night.